Chris Parks here, Atlantic Coast Mortgage. If you're watching this video, it's more than likely that you're going to be watching it because you're having some issues with your credit. Just want to pass on this great information for you so that you can work on your credit alone. You can use a variety of credit people to help you with credit if you would like to. There are for-hire ones, and then there are nonprofits. All of these certainly are options for you if that's what you would like to do to help improve your credit. But I'm going to give you some general tips. I'm not a credit repair person, but I'm going to give you some general tips on what you need to be able to do in order to fix your credit. There's really not a whole lot of mystery to this. If you have something in collections, it needs to be brought out of collections and brought current. Either paid off, negotiated in an outcome, or somehow eliminated so that you're not dealing with the credit issue long term. So those are big pieces right there. That's the first piece. The second one is if you have any judgments or any bankruptcies or any foreclosures, you have to have enough time behind you in order to show that there's a pattern of your ability to repay any loan that you might take out. In the case of other items like this, credit cards are another big one. If you have a balance of over 30%, it tends to hurt you. Now 50% is where it really starts hurting you, but once you get past 30% use of your credit card, it really does cause problems. If you can keep your credit cards below 10% use, it really does make things better for you. Now, I do have available this document right here, which I can send to you in a flyer. This gives you a really good view of how credit works. You know, the pie shape of what's happening here. There's 5 main components to it. Number one is the length of your credit history, which is 15% of what you have. Another one is new credit accounts. That one's 10% of what you have. The types of credit that you have, credit cards, installment loans, other items like that, that plays into 10%. Now, the ones that carry the most weight in anything you're going to be doing when it comes to credit is going to be, number one, your payment history. If you've had some problems, a black eye in the past or a ground zero or something like that, that's fine. Not a big deal. It happens to a lot of people. What you have to do, though, is you have to quiet the voices that are causing all the problems by paying off those cards, paying off those debts, and closing them so that they don't keep coming back. Once you've closed them, it gives you an opportunity to rebuild. So yes, you would be affecting your credit by 10% by opening up a new credit account, but many times this 35% of payment history is causing so much damage that closing that account and opening up a new one is probably worth your time. The next one that you see down here is how much you owe. So if you have a credit card that is overused, and that's the one where we tend to use, we see the most. People go on holidays and they see a promotion. If you open up this card, you're going to get X amount, and they just go crazy with the cards. I've seen people with as many as 25 to 30 credit cards. All store cards, all getting promotions and everything else. The problem is those are designed to eventually catch up with you, and the law of probability says that at some point in time you're going to fall behind. So how much you owe over top is a big deal. 30% of your credit limit is a good rule of thumb. Obviously, if you can keep it lower than that, it'll actually bring your credit up on steroids. So it's a good idea to keep your credit low and maintain how much you owe down below that. But the biggest piece of each one of these pieces of pie, the biggest one, 35%, is going to be your payment history. And I can't accentuate enough how important it is that if you have had a black eye or if you had a ground zero financially, that you close those out and you start new so that you can eliminate the bad news and start creating good news. This is Chris Parks, Atlantic Coast Mortgage. Certainly happy to share this with you, and hopefully this can be of value to you. I can send you this flyer, and certainly I'm not a credit repair specialist, but I certainly can provide you with some links to people who can help you with this beyond what I can do. Thank you so much for your time.